yourself.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of Go Flix Yourself. My name is Ben Konowitz, and with me as always is the Dasani to my core hydration, Bradford Oman.
Hey, that's me.
And the Smart Water to my core hydration, Nate Loucks.
Hey, that's me.
And the Aquafina to my core hydration, special guest, Charlie Young.
I was wondering if you were going to know another water brand.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, Dasani improved their formula.
No,
And they're
Dasani's
better.
dog shit and you know it.
So first of all, Core, whatever the
It's
fuck it's called.
awesome.
No, it comes in a stupid butt plug
It's
bottle, and
Core.
I know that's why you like it.
You cannot tell me that it doesn't taste good.
Core water is the best water.
It tastes good.
No,
You know what other? You would like the Body Armor water that just came out.
Smart Water is the best, Nate.
Smart Water's good.
Smart water's great.
And I can't
Core's
believe there
better.
are actual, different tasting waters, but it's true. But Dasani's still hot garbage.
It is.
I will always drink Dasani.
You know
What's wrong with you?
Great value water is not bad.
I mean,
You know what?
that's usually not what I want my water to be. Not bad.
Yeah.
Is it good though?
I mean, it's better than Dasani's.
I'm a tap
Everything is better than Dasani.
tap water.
Honestly,
I've
let's
had water in Haiti that was better than Dasani.
Wow, that's saying something.
You're a piece of shit.
We should just start a company called Tap, and it's just water we bottle out of the tap.
Tap out, and we have shirts that say "Tap out."
Oh, I like
Ben's got a whole box of
and
them
like
over
the
here in
and
the
like
basement.
the coolest dudes will wear them, right?
And drink our water.
yeah,
Yeah.
tap out, bro.
Tap out thirst.
Yeah, tap out, bro. I don't know about you guys, but I'm drinking tap out water every day.
Is that your MMA fighter guy?
No, that's my guy who's like building body every day, bro.
Who's building
He's building body every
Yeah,
day.
bro. I don't know about you, but like I've been bodybuilding and building body
What's-
like ever since I started lifting these weights.
What's
bro.
your favorite exercise to do?
At least like 40 crunches and like 50 bench press lifts, bro.
If you ask him 3 more questions, he'll get full Schwarzenegger.
It was good. No, it's coming. No.
No, because I like to have big,
No, because I like to have
I like to have big sausage burritos, bro.
Bro.
Oh, well, this has been
it's-
Fitness Corner with Brad.
Arnold
Definitely not
Hogan.
fitting in this corner.
Hmm.
Fat.
Oh. Well, hey, guys.
Hey, what kind of podcast
This
is
is
this?
another
I
episode
like
of
your body.
Go Flix Yourself, where we talk about the latest movies we've seen. And it's been a couple weeks, so hopefully we got a couple to talk about.
Oh yeah.
We watched a couple trailers. I don't really want to talk about them, so
We'll see what happens.
We
We're
watched
gonna
trailers?
have a free
By the way, did
roaming
you not
conversation.
give
Okay.
him the trailers?
Well, no, because it was kind of
So
a
we're
Hail
not,
Mary.
let's not watch the. Let's not talk
Well,
about the
if we do, then Charlie will just fly with us.
by the seat of his pants.
It'll just be like we're on a
That-
trip.
That could actually be the game. You guys describe
Guess
the
the
trailer.
trailer.
Guess the trailer.
He'll never get one of
No,
them.
yeah, there would be no way, but we'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
I like this. Brad, who is our lovely and talented sponsor this week?
Ben, I'm glad you asked.
I ask it every week.
I know, and
but he's glad that you ask every week.
I found a delicious treat today, just this very day, when I was at the store.
Okay.
Looking for a delicious treat for
Fi-
today.
at Five Below.
Oh no, trust me, I already had options because I've brought a couple that are still here on the couch that we didn't use because Ben brought a surprise sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird. I just
Man, fuck you.
Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, hey, man, don't do that
I feel
anymore.
like we didn't really process that together afterwards, but that was weird.
Don't
when you did
do
that.
like I was trying to be nice and bring a sponsor.
Yeah,
That's
but
really
it just
funny.
is kind of
Nobody look at Brad.
Just don't do that anymore.
Nobody look at Brad. Okay,
Nate's intently staring at you.
just get out of here, Nate. Close your eyes.
I'm
and just-
producing this podcast.
Yeah, but
right
stop
now.
looking over here.
I have to.
You don't have to look at me.
to
Look
check
at your
your
computer
levels.
screen.
He's making
check
sure
your
he's
levels.
making sure you're in shot.
Yeah, stop it. Okay, Charlie, hold out your hands.
I want to reach in myself.
Can I?
You can.
Can I
Fine.
look at the item?
Yes.
Just grab the bag and bring the bag over here for
No,
me.
I don't have mine yet. Oh.
No.
Don't look, stop looking at the bag, you piece of shit.
I'm not looking at the bag.
I
I'm
see
looking
your
at
eyes
face.
wandering.
I'm
Seriously.
looking at your face.
Like if you were at a strip club right now, you'd just be looking straight at the tits. Don't look at the bag. Don't you fucking
get
look
so
at the bag.
Freaking serious about this, and it's not that.
No one look at the bag.
It's cereal. You gave us cereal. This is fucking awesome. You gave us fucking toasted mini wheat in a ball.
It's cereal. You gave us cereal.
So what it is?
Cool.
It is. It's cereal.
It's literally cereal.
Put
Guys,
milk in
this is giant cereal. No, it's funnel cake balls.
No, it's not. I hate to tell you, hers, but it's not.
This tastes like a mistake piece out of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
This is hers crunchy and sweet funnel cake flavored snack balls, and they are none of those things.
It definitely. You can taste
They are delicious.
Yeah, you can taste the powdered sugar. It's almost like if you took Kix and put powdered sugar on them.
Yeah, I kind of got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
You get a kicks out of it?
I love.
Do you
Kix.
guys like snack balls?
It depends on what kind.
It's like Tom's Carrot.
These are pretty good though. I like them.
They're not bad. They're
Yeah.
not bad.
It feels like
I had 3 or 4 of them, and that's all I want.
this feels like a rice cake version of a funnel cake.
Yeah, I guess
Because
so.
it just kind of tastes like it, but
not
it's a
good.
lot of air.
No, it's not good. It's too sweet.
I like them. Those are. I wouldn't have them all the time, but the one time I was like in the mood for them,
No
I'd
throw.
probably crush the bag. Right.
If they had like a salty counter to it, I think I would like it more.
Ooh,
If they-
a little caramel drizzle.
Maybe in a bowl of some milk.
A salted caramel funnel cake ball.
No, you said caramel. It's caramel.
It's caramel.
It's not. There's an extra A in the word.
It's
We're,
caramel.
we're in Indiana. It's caramel.
It's
Yeah,
caramel.
no, there's a city called Carmel, and
Yeah.
there's not an A in that one after
Did
the
you like?
R.
Did you like the
Hey,
caramel?
did you like you want your caramel? You want your caramel
Oh,
apple
Brad,
sir?
do you like the
Welcome to the elitist branch of where we're at.
Hey,
Let's look
I
at
bet
the
you
let's
go
look
and
at the
view-
caramel.
You
we-
visit your
have we
uncle
ever-
and your aunt.
Hold on, guys. Sorry about that. 2 dumbasses walked in and started talking on the mics, who obviously don't know anything about words and how letters are pronounced. Or
And
anything
for a
like
guy
that.
that pronounces it milk instead of milk and
First of
pillow,
all,
it's
Shure.
I have never. Don't you even fucking try. I have never said milk or
Dude.
pillow or library in my life. If you try and put that on me, I'll cut your
And he
fucking
also
dick
says-
off.
And he also says supposedly, and it drives me crazy.
When
It
he's
drives me
when
freaking
he's trying to
crazy.
narrow things down, he goes, "I'm being very specific about this," and
drives
it's
me
just it
crazy.
drives me
And
Can I
nuts.
we
get
never correct him.
a large espresso?
Yeah, we never correct him, and he does it freaking all the time.
The
It
worst
drives me
though,
crazy.
fuck you eating it in the mic. When he comes over and he's like, "Hey, you know what I seen the other day? I seen this guy come up to me and he said,
seen it?
I
Yeah.
fucking hate
I've
when you
seen
do
it.
that, Brad. You
Yeah.
do that all the time."
Learn how to talk.
I
dude.
saw. Okay.
Learn how to talk.
No, I saw it.
Yeah, I seen you not getting a diploma. That's what I seen.
I will say this: those are all fun, but I do hate the way he says "sure."
Sure.
Well, it's oh no,
Because there's no
the reason you hate
there's
it.
no age.
The reason you hate it is not because it's the way he pronounces it. It's because it's always what's to follow. He's like agreeing with you, but he goes, "Sure," but you know what's
No, he
coming.
doesn't
Sure,
say-
sure, but
But it's
this is why
Wait,
you're wrong.
sure.
No,
Sure.
Ben is right though. I will very specifically say sure in that way
Sure.
when I'm saying it sure. But no, I don't ever say the word sure like normal, like that. Like I don't emphasize it.
It's like, oh, you made. He's like saying you made an okay point.
Yes,
but
exactly.
this is
100%.
this is a better point.
100%.
That's
yes.
when he says it.
Ben gets
That's
me.
why you don't like it.
Well, funnily enough,
Funnel cake enough?
funnel.
So these are funnel cake flavored balls,
Sure.
and we put them in our mouth, and they were sweet.
And they needed milk. They needed milk.
I'm gonna put these in milk, and I'm
You
gonna
really,
see.
honestly,
Yeah.
let me know because they would probably be pretty good.
I
Cereal.
bet you they're gonna go soggy real fast.
I think you're probably
but
right.
but I bet that milk
It's
afterwards
gonna
would
be
really
like
sweet.
paste
like
and
cotton
some
like cotton
slime.
candy. It's just gonna evaporate.
Hold on, listen. Nate made a good point.
Oh,
The
sorry.
milk's gonna taste delicious.
It will, because I know you like a good milk.
I do love good
You
milk.
love good milk.
Yeah, do you drink your milk after the cereal?
I don't do anything with milk because it's
And
not
then you
a
lay your
real
head on a
thing.
pillow?
It's milk.
it's milk.
I'm just glad on the
Miak.
podcast
After
you're
you-
actually saying it correctly.
Put your clothes in the wash.
Warsh.
Wash rag.
My dad does say wash.
That's so.
He says Washington wash.
That was a good Ernest Scared Stupid reference. That you
Thank you, Ben. I was waiting.
Back
for
to the
someone.
movies.
made. And full circle, we did it. So yeah, let's start with Charlie. What have you seen lately, buddy? What have you been
Well,
watching?
I think I've seen 3 movies like recently.
Oh, wow. What the fuck?
It's more than me.
Actually, he's also seen one movie 3 times recently.
That's why it's only
Should we have that conversation here?
I
Is
love.
it time?
I love
not
that-
only is it time, but we're going full spoiler for this chat if we're doing it because
Yeah.
now it's
I will get
all
there.
they've been doing is talking
all
about
seen
it.
We've all seen it. So has every American.
So before we get lost in this, I do want to say I did watch the Power Rangers movie yesterday,
Okay.
I didn't hate it, by the way.
the first one,
No, the one that came out a couple years ago.
Oh no.
I
That's
watched
No, he's talking about 95.
1995.
we're talking about
Oh.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie,
movie,
Nate,
yeah.
not
No.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, no, it's
This guy.
Jeez.
How was it?
It's very nostalgic. There's a lot of it I still
Because you're
quote.
younger than me, so did you grow up watching the Power Rangers? 'Cause
So
that
fun-
was a little after Ben and I.
Fun
Yeah.
story. Literally,
my younger brother did.
Fun story. Brad can tell you, I was pretty obsessed with Power Rangers.
Up until like 1920.
I mean, I still watch them. I still turn them on. I still look for collectibles. Like it's still,
So it's a thing.
It's a thing. It is a Star Wars Back to the Future level.
He's
thing
not
for
keeping
me.
up with every iteration of Power Rangers, but still
Are
like
there
the
still
original.
new iterations?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's still an ongoing show because it's still being made in Japan, so it's super cheap to make and kids eat it up. So,
Freaking Japanese.
yeah, no. So we watched that. It's nostalgia, but it's horrible. It breaks canon and lore
Grown-
and is bad.
I think
Grown men in
I think
costumes.
the CGI holds up though.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure it does.
No. Before that,
No.
was a couple days ago. Taylor had never seen The Founder, so we watched The Founder.
I like that movie.
I do too. It's funny. I actually talked about that movie on this podcast a few years ago.
Oh,
No,
wow.
we remember. We remember.
And then now we can dive into the one I have seen 3 times here of recent.
The Garfield movie.
The Garfield
3 Men and a
movie.
Baby.
Maverick.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's what you had?
I don't know. I just was trying to think about something that would just be boring.
Maverick? I thought that
Maverick?
the Garfield
But
movie
yeah, but like it would be
new.
because it's not. It just didn't come out. It's been a couple years. Like it would be stupid.
Oh,
to
you
say
mean
it.
Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, Maverick?
Like with Mel Gibson and James Garner.
Yeah.
Maverick. Yep.
Yeah, like, is that the
That's what I
card
was
movie?
Talking about.
No, I watched Payback.
That's your favorite actor.
Oh yeah, no, I really do
Not
love
his favorite
James
actor.
Garner.
It's his favorite, prophet.
Oh yeah.
Prophet. Mel Gibson. Okay.
Anyways, no.
Anyways.
3 times in the last week or so.
Listen, what did Mel Gibson ever do?
It's not the time.
Nate
It is too soon.
anti-Ben tonight. He's like, yeah,
not
don't
the
bring
time.
don't bring the sponsor
Just-
anymore.
just
That was
don't.
weird. And you know what? It's not the time to talk about this. Do you have anything else you want to get off your chest, Nate?
It's going to be a long night.
Oh,
so let's talk
my
about
God.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine.
Deadpool 3.
D and W.
Yes.
Go on, Nate. Go ahead. Whatever you want to say is important, I guess.
So is this? Well, that was
Okay,
my
okay.
3rd movie.
Rank these for me because guest of the podcast, Finley, and I were just talking about this. He's seen it twice now.
Yep.
How would you rank the Deadpool films?
1, 3, 2.
Okay.
Yep.
Why do you not like 2 as much?
2 was just and they're all a lot of the same of themselves.
Yeah, it's the
of
same
each other,
shtick,
right?
but I love it.
For sure. I mean, they're all like S tier, A tier, right?
Yep.
It's no 2 felt a lot more just like more 1, and while 3 also felt like that, it had enough of the cameos and what it brought to the table and Hugh Jackman to push it
Yeah,
past 2.
I felt like 3 certainly plays the same shtick, right? Because it's
Yeah,
Deadpool,
it's-
right?
yeah.
Like, you want that shtick.
Yep.
But there was enough swings in there.
There
right?
was enough.
It was my favorite multiverse. I don't love the multiverse, which I love that they make fun of it, right?
Yeah.
It's enough. It was my favorite multiverse thing that they've done.
100%.
I thought it was very good.
I don't know if I'll go that far. 'cause
Would
I,
you
Loki was good.
I still think No Way Home is like a fucking home run all around.
Yeah, sorry. I
Why do you
didn't
hate
connect that
Spider-Man?
I didn't connect that with multiverse because the characters don't go into the multiverse as much. They're
Well, they
coming
do.
to that.
Him and Doctor Strange do for a battle, and there's
Yeah,
some
but
reference to
like-
it,
but
I get you. I also don't
Well, to be
consider
fair-
that.
well,
so
that
to be fair, yes,
that battle's not in the multiverse. That's in the mirror universe.
yeah,
The
Which is another
multiverse.
verse.
nerd.
The multiverse, that's
You did
not
push up your
entirely
glasses.
accurate. The mirror universe is not a separate timeline that exists as a separate universe. It's a place where Doctor Strange can do things that don't actually affect the
Right.
timeline that he's in.
Right,
But it's not.
But it's still a verse.
But
Yeah, but it's not the-
multiverse
Yep.
means characters from
It's
other
not
universes.
Ant-Man, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not all of those things that there were.
And to
So
be
No
fair,
Way Home, I think, is still the best one.
I will say, yes, probably.
Sure,
if you're going to
sure,
include that
but-
into
sure,
the
but-
multiverse movies, which I understand why you would, I just
'Cause it is by
wasn't
default
connecting it
part
to
of the multiverse
as
saga.
much. I know.
You
but-
know what he's saying.
thought
Hold
No Way
on,
Home
hold
was
on,
the
hold
last
on,
one
hold on, hold on,
phase
hold on.
of the Infinity Saga.
What?
No.
No, that's Far From
Far
Home.
from home.
Brad, you know what he means, though. You do understand what his point is.
No, but I
But no. Do you understand his point or not?
Because
Like,
Charlie
the
and I
point
were
is-
saying,
the point
but
he's
I
trying to
don't
make-
really
but I
consider
disagree.
that as
That's okay, but you need to at least understand where he's coming from.
no, I know what he's saying, but I'm saying I think No Way Home is the better multiverse movie.
sure.
And if you
Sure.
but if you categorize movies in 2 different ways, whereas characters going into different multiverses to get other characters,
which is
or
a theme that they have, right?
the entire movie taking place in one universe and just characters from other universes come and stay.
That's a weird way to classify it.
But there's
first of
the
all.
dichotomy.
But sure,
that
by
is a
those
different
odd parameters, yes, Deadpool and
but that's what you
Wolverine is
mean.
the
That's
better
what you
multiverse
mean.
exactly.
movie.
Like the film is set in
Hey,
one.
Hold on.
doesn't feel like it
Which is the better multiverse movie where there's a baseball reference? Let's see.
No,
let's figure that
that's
one out.
not even.
That's not a big. That's not a too big
It's
of a
like
swing.
where one
I'm still
setting
making
is
a
set
point,
in
though.
one space, one verse. You know,
We never leave 616.
Exactly,
in
that's what
in
I'm
No
saying,
Way Home.
like, you
I agree with
Sure.
that. When people, when people,
you hate him, don't you? You hate him.
When people would say, "Hey, what's your favorite multiverse movie?" No Way Home would not cross my mind
Yep.
as a multiverse movie because it took.
But
all
No Way
place.
Home is a better film. I will agree.
Yes, and it is a multiverse movie. Thank
Yep.
you.
Oh my god.
See, sure.
So like to piggyback off what you were saying,
One
I'm
Two.
pissed now. I don't want to talk about
I
this.
agree.
Yeah, see what he does? You see, Nate? See, he gets in your fucking skin, and he's like a little splinter in your stupid
You don't wanna
fucking
talk about it.
pinky
You know, I
finger,
don't wanna
and your
talk about
pinky finger isn't even a very popular finger, but the splinter that goes under it, it still gets under that fucking nail, and it's annoying as shit.
And
And,
you-
now, all you can think about is the stupid
I know what I'm
splinter,
talking about.
and you don't care about anything else.
So
you
get
don't
the
want to record
toenail-
any podcast.
So you get the
anymore.
clippers out and you start digging it out, and you get it out eventually, and you do win, but it leaves this huge hole.
And
it
you
Yeah,
hurts,
remember.
and guess what? And you know
remember.
what's better for a splinter is just let it leave your body on its own. So if you just let things happen, then you won't have to fucking worry
We
about it.
tried, but then you
I
said
would
you weren't moving.
love
So.
to let you leave on your own.
So here's the thing. I agree with the ranking that Charlie has as well. I do think it's 1, 3, 2. However, I do think 2 is a better made movie, but I think 3 is more fun, and I enjoyed watching 3 more than 2.
Yep.
Because 2 it builds upon 1. I still think 1 is the best only because it was the first one to like really subvert comic book tropes at a time when like it really needed it.
Yeah.
And just Ryan Reynolds perfectly bringing Deadpool to life and like doing it in such a way that felt kind of like they went rogue in a way because like it came.
and they did.
It came from the leaking the footage and,
And
like really pushing to get it
and
made.
it felt more street level too, as
Yeah.
Deadpool is a street level.
Yeah, and Deadpool 2 gets bigger. What I do appreciate more about Deadpool 2 though as a movie is that David Leitch is a better filmmaker than Tim Miller, and so the way he shoots action and stuff like that, and plus because they had a bigger budget, it works better cinematically. But I do think 3 was more enjoyable. Having seen it 3 times in theaters, I personally think it holds up. The story is held together by toothpicks. It is not a well-written movie as far as the narrative by any means, but it's hilarious. It's the funniest of the 3.
Right? It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
Like it is.
I will say it doesn't need to be, but I also think that they should be striving for that. I'm not upset that it's not a great story, but like I wish it were better still.
What would you do to make this story better?
Well,
what do you think they need to flesh out?
How would you write a whole
No,
screenplay?
what do you think they need to flesh it out better? Like, what in there did you feel unsatisfactory?
Logistically, the
Yeah.
story doesn't make any sense. There's no actual like legitimate or significant reasoning as to why certain things happen or why certain characters are doing what they're doing. Once you start to actually think about why things are happening,
So the villain in this movie can leave the void whenever she chooses to, but she just chose not to because she was loving being there.
Right.
So
She'd
why
love to
would
be
you?
the queen of that world?
Why would you allow such a high-powered being to exist
Right.
if you are the timeline people?
Because eventually she
TVA.
would fail if she went to Earth. Right here, she is the superpower. She is the leader.
And
of
they
the
know
void.
that in her mind, that's what she wants to.
And
be.
yeah, she may go back to 616 and start taking things over, but eventually she will be overcame by an Avenger, another, a good guy of her caliber.
Yeah, we'd rather have her down here ruling this underworld.
let her let her have her playground and.
but she can still leave any time.
Exactly. There's no.
But she was
handcuffs.
happy
And
down there.
to-
They
and
knew
to
she
be
was
fair,
happy down there.
She it may have been
No,
a
she said she was happy down there.
she
loved
had
it.
she
I
had
don't think that's the point.
but she also
Yeah.
had the sling ring in her pocket, so
The point
She-
is it's a weak explanation.
I was
also her
literally in the middle of
brother-
a sentence.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie.
I was finishing what Ben was saying.
Oh, okay.
But nobody knows. Nobody cares.
She kept the sling ring
Why
in her
did Charlie
pocket. She
talk?
could have had a plan at some point to
I
go
think he's
back up
gonna
there.
agree with me. So.
But no, also like the reasoning behind why Paradox pulls Deadpool out of his timeline, it's hand waved away of like, oh, my superior said that like they think that you're special for some reason. It's like, why? Why not just let him die since the timeline is going to be destroyed when you put it in through the Time Ripper anyway. Like all you did was create a problem for yourself.
That's a good point. Yep.
But even so, those things didn't distract from me enjoying the hell out of the movie because it's hilarious. There's a lot of fun things that happen from the cameos from Fox Marvel characters and Blade and Channing Tatum as Gambit and all this stuff.
Channing Tatum was great.
Channing Tatum was
so good, just so funny, just a great.
And his accent
pull.
was so fun. It was just like I loved it.
Yeah,
Sherry.
It was just a blast. Yeah. I loved it. I've seen it 3 times now, so I don't need to go back to theaters to see it again. I'll wait until it comes out. On home.
I was good with once. I'll watch it.
I saw it once. I'm good.
Ben, you haven't said much about how you felt about it, but tell us about what you think about Deadpool and Wolverine.
This is the first Marvel film in a while that made me think, oh, this is what I used to think when I walked out of a Marvel film.
Same way. Yep.
Like I knew it was going to be good going in. I had all the faith because I trust these filmmakers and I trust Ryan Reynolds and of course Hugh Jackman. And I sat down in the theater with that giddiness that I knew I was going to be watching something great, not just good but great. And then when I left the theater, I felt even better because it not only lived up to my expectations, but it surpassed them. As far as I laughed harder at this film than I have at the previous ones. I thought the action was fine, but it doesn't matter because Wolverine was doing it. So even though the action scenes where he's fighting 100 Deadpools or whatever, it could have maybe been done technically better.
Yeah.
I was still having so much fucking fun watching Logan rip things apart. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
And so the idea is you used to stand around in the parking lot after a huge Marvel movie going, can you imagine what it's going to be like? And you just got excited. And, of course, we lost so much of that after Endgame just because they didn't have a great direction about where they wanted to go.
And plus, Ben stopped going to movies.
Well, no, because they weren't as good.
To be fair, the world stopped going to movies for a while.
But it was a little too much. They had the shows that kind of, we've talked about this, that have just, it's just too much. You got to, they really went all in on Disney Plus, and it killed it.
So rank Phase 5 movies for me, if you will. So far we've got
That's
Ant-Man.
a whole thing. That's like 10 movies to try and rank.
Phase 5 is only 4 movies right now.
It's not Phase 4, Phase 5.
Phase 5, okay.
All right, what's Phase 5?
God, Brad, know your movies.
Seriously, get into movies, please. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, and Deadpool and Wolverine. How do you rank those 4?
Deadpool and Wolverine is at the top.
Guardians 3.
I'm going to give it to Quantumania. I'm a Quantumania defender.
I know you are, yeah. I liked it as well.
And I was disappointed in Guardians 3.
I liked Guardians 3 a lot.
I don't dislike it.
Yeah, Guardians 3, though, it's the reason that I
didn't love the ending.
Didn't like the movie as a whole is it's the marketing. You can't have all the marketing saying, get ready, somebody's going to die, and then fucking nobody dies. Like, I don't love that. Okay. Every single time there was a character in peril, I'm like, oh, this is where, and I'm going to cry. And wait, he didn't actually die. I'm like, I hate that.
Yeah.
The thing about Yondu dying was that it was real, right? And it had an emotional resonance.
Or Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
And it was, or Gamora. These things
that
were
you
permanent.
Say,
Loki. These were permanent
she can't
things.
Die, right?
Yeah.
And then the Marvels is last, right?
Yeah, but I don't think the Marvels is bad.
I don't either.
These are. I mean, these really aren't horrible.
That's what I'm
movies.
saying. Phase 5 isn't terrible.
Yeah, no, they just
it's been straight steady since Endgame.
No, I mean honestly, the one before Ant-Man, I liked Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So that's a good
it's pretty good
film.
Yeah, I don't think even though we're dealing with a downturn in the MCU, it's mostly because of how high the Infinity Saga took us and how good Endgame was in resolving that storyline and just delivering so many things.
And there was a storyline between all of the films, right? They felt congruent.
I think the reason everything kind of feels down, even if there are enjoyable
Jonathan
chapters,
Majors, thank you.
It's the TV thing, like Ben said, but it's also the lack of cohesion between the movies that you don't have, because the Multiverse saga, as it stands, does not have a through line that makes you keep wanting to come back for more. It wasn't working even when Jonathan Majors hadn't been convicted of assault and harassment. And Kang was not super exciting for people, which is a big part of the reason, aside from that, why they're switching to Avengers Doomsday, which, if you haven't heard, was announced at Comic-Con with Robert Downey Jr. coming back not as Tony Stark, but as Victor Von Doom.
New
is Doctor
mask,
Doom,
same task.
villain from Fantastic Four, and who will be in both of the upcoming Avengers movies, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars.
And the Russo
But
brothers are coming back.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm a little confused about this. Is he playing a variant?
They have not confirmed that.
That's what I heard.
That's the presumption. That's what I think, because it would be weird to just bring Robert Downey
It
Jr.
would
to
be
play
so weird.
Victor Von Doom by default. So like he'll be Doctor Doom, but like I think it'll be a universe where Tony Stark became Doctor
Exactly.
Doom.
It better be.
If it doesn't,
It makes so much
it
sense,
makes
right?
just
and
no
to
sense.
and to give Doctor Doom some Iron Man tech, like
Pretty cool.
There's a whole there are several comic book storylines where Iron Man becomes Doctor Doom.
There are.
Are you at all excited about it?
I'm
Do
cautiously
you trust the Russo brothers?
I trust the Russo brothers to an extent because they worked miracles with Infinity War and Endgame. If you go read about the behind the scenes, you'll find that some of the most pivotal moments in that movie were kind of happy accidents, which happens a lot. You know, even some of the best made movies.
Yeah, do you have an example of that? Like
the Tony the I am Iron Man line that Tony Stark goes out on with, that wasn't scripted.
Really?
They didn't have that until
was-
the day they shot that scene.
that was RDJ improving that.
Yeah. That wasn't so that
Which
wasn't
is
something that was
iconic,
locked in
right?
place.
It's an iconic role.
So
That's why they bringing him back.
when he snapped his fingers and he said, "I am Iron Man."
The I am Iron Man line was not scripted. They didn't have that in place.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which because that is just
It's
such
perfect.
Originally,
a perfect-
originally it was "I love you 627," and RDJ was like, "No, it's got to be 3,000."
But
It was here goes nothing.
the Russos have not necessarily done great things since Endgame, and so like it's going back to the well for both them and Marvel, and it reeks of desperation to me. And like, sure, that might come from me sitting in my armchair and being an armchair critic and that kind of thing, but like, we're at a point when they obviously know they need to win fans back, and bringing back one of the biggest stars from the original
It's
thing.
a very safe play.
Yeah, it's a very safe play.
I don't hate it because
I don't
they
hate
need it. It is desperate, but at the same time, if they don't, I think they lose it all. I think it really does go away.
Maybe.
it could be done well, but it could not. So 2025, we're done with Marvel films for this year, right? And so 2025 is going to bring us 4 films. Which of the 4 are you most excited about? Let me read them just in case you guys, listeners, might not know. You've got Captain America: Brave New World coming out February 14th. Great Valentine's Day.
Of course.
Ben, if you want to take me.
Yep.
Thunderbolts, May 2nd. The Fantastic Four: First Steps, July 25th. And Blade is supposed to come out
Slated,
November
but-
7th.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. So let's.
What's going on with that?
It's a complete clusterfuck. No, it's like they've gone through 3 or 4 different directors now. They're having a hard time like finalizing a
Have they
script.
shot anything?
I think they started shooting, or at least they were like on the verge of it. And it's just mess.
That sucks.
I mean, no, they
'Cause that
actually.
casting was.
It says here on
fucking
Wikipedia,
perfect.
filming is expected to take place in Mexico, the United Kingdom, and the Trilla Studios in Atlanta. And it sounds like they actually haven't started shooting
Well, there you go.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Whoopsie doodle.
So
I'm excited for him in that order.
So let's say then the Fantastic Four I think is starting to film now, right? They're filming.
Yeah.
So that will likely come out next year. So between those films, then those 3, what are you most excited about seeing?
Fantastic Four.
I think I was just gonna say you stole that from me. I was gonna say that.
You had 25%.
I was really gonna say that because I think I know what I'm gonna get with Brave New World. I think that it's gonna be right over the middle. I don't think they're gonna do anything crazy. I think they're really just gonna be like, we need to make sure that this is.
It'll be a fine film to see in the theater, right?
I'm excited to see Harrison Ford.
Of course, but this is going to be something that hits all the hallmarks of just like we need to make sure we're not doing anything weird and crazy.
Yeah.
Again, it'll be a good movie, a solid movie. I don't know really anything about the Thunderbolts.
I'm excited about Thunderbolts because it brings back David Harbour as Red Guardian.
Yes.
And anything that he's in, I just love.
Well, for me, it's Florence Pugh, but
I know.
So,
I just
Thunderbolts
think that-
is supposed to be Marvel's Suicide Squad.
Gotcha. Okay.
basically.
And then, but yeah, with Fantastic Four, I think that they can finally get it right.
Yeah, I mean it's a totally different vibe this time because they're leaning into that 60s like retro style, but it also has like a new futuristic angle to it, kind of like I guess if you were to like to imagine like the Jetsons meets Marvel essentially. And that cast, like I mean, it's incredible. You're talking about Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, and Ebon Moss-Backrack, and that's awesome. Like
Just,
I
and
love
it's
that.
not it's not just again, it's not just Pedro Pascal, but it's Pedro Pascal that's in the middle of having his moment, right? Like he is one of the biggest actors in the world now.
Yeah.
So these are super A-list people that are doing this, and again, not that necessarily back then, Michael B. Jordan wasn't an A-lister, but that movie just shit the bed.
Yeah.
I just think that they've got a real good opportunity here to hopefully just keep going with this new kind of push that Wolverine and Deadpool have started.
Yeah. I think Feige really wants to get Fantastic Four right anyway.
Yeah.
So
I'm just not a big fan of Elon Musk Bacharach.
Cool.
Ben, where do you rate the Deadpools?
Probably 3, 1, 2.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
You like this one?
I really it's a
so
punch
much
in the face
fun.
of, again, it probably has more to do with where we are now
Yeah.
and what this film means. Because I don't want to repeat myself here, but I was so excited knowing going in. I haven't felt that way about a Marvel movie in forever.
Yep.
And for as good as Deadpool 1 and 2 were, I didn't need to feel that way. 'Cause back then, I was still trusting Marvel.
It didn't have to be the best movie.
Exactly.
Well,
But this had a lot of weight on its shoulders, and it fucking pulled it off.
And
Just
I
like
talk-
a prayer.
And I talk about I talk about this all the time. I'm afraid that I'm never going to go to the theater again feeling the way I felt when I walked out of Endgame. Like during that movie.
It was the best.
I felt that way during Star Wars movies. Lord
Lord of the Rings, I felt that way. And
I don't know that I will ever feel that way about a movie again as I did.
It's a 22 movie payoff.
Yeah.
I felt so the way that a movie can make you feel emotional or thinking, or you leave going, "Wow, that was an experience." I felt that way in Oppenheimer. You didn't feel that way?
No. To
He
be
hasn't
fair,
seen
I
Oppenheimer
haven't
yet.
seen Oppenheimer, but there's not.
I saw Oppenheimer in the theater, and it gave me that feeling, like it was a thing of beauty,
Yeah.
and it made me think.
I felt that way with Cocaine Bear.
No, Endgame.
No, that was just cocaine.
Oh yeah, and I'm a bear. Got it.
Oh, you do know the sites.
Yeah, no, I definitely that high of Endgame is something else.
I'll never.
Did you cry?
I cried.
I
Not-
laughed. I cried.
Cry both sad tears and tears of joy.
Yeah.
I remember
It was
I
such
think I
a
cried
satisfying end. Wasn't
four
it?
or 5 times. I cried.
Yeah, like you cry with joy when he finally snaps and Thanos disappears, and it turns into a cry of sorrow because you realize he can't handle and he's dead. Like,
Yep. And there was something about it for me that it felt like he almost knew that this is where his life was going.
there
right?
are certain moments in core movies for me that will still trigger that emotion. Like I'll still get like that little choke, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Han Solo shows up at the end of New Hope to help out Luke in the trench run. Back to the Future when Marty hits the hook at the exact time and Doc's plug they still
The threesome
choke.
and Wild Things.
The diaper change scene in 3 Minute a Baby. No, and Endgame, like Portals is one of those scenes.
when Steven Dorff dies in Blade.
Weird. And but yeah, no, that when everybody comes back to help Cap, like that's
Yeah.
how are you gonna top that in the theater?
Even just this, even scenes that aren't even that big, even when you see Thor and Rocket,
Yeah.
right, just come into Wakanda, like
Yep.
every single goosebump on my body was at full attention. Like that's amazing.
Yep.
What a cool scene. There was the MCU has been full of so many of those, and I think that I can't agree with you more, Charlie. I don't know that I'll ever feel that way again.
Right.
This was the first time
I was like,
that I was like, oh shit, that's where these goosebumps
Yeah,
have been. Like that's where you guys have been
exactly.
hiding. This feels amazing.
There's a small scene even where
Just a
Rocket and Nebula
What?
are together, and
and they just hold hands.
Yep. That
Because they're
scene.
the only two Guardians
know that
left.
scene, yes.
Oh my god! It's when they come back. It's
Yep,
when Nebula
yep.
comes back.
Yep.
I don't want to take the wind out of Ben's sails, but the Thor and Rocket coming to
Is
Wakanda is
Infinity
Infinity War.
No, I'm saying like moments like that in any
Oh,
movie
okay.
in the MCU.
Oh,
I'm talking
gotcha,
about
gotcha.
moments
Okay.
in the MCU that do
I
that.
thought we were talking Endgame.
That's why we have
When
those.
Thor has to restart the heart of a dying star. When,
Yeah.
just
and they
all
put
of these
those in the
things.
Marvel logo,
Yeah.
right? I want to see those
Yes.
Marvel logo montage scenes again.
And that's why when
And
people talk about
when
the-
you watch we just had a movie come out, right? So they have all the up to date montage scenes in there. They added Deadpool. There's no Eternals in there. There's no Quantumania in there.
It might be there somewhere. I mean, you can't look everywhere.
but
in that
blink and you
logo.
miss it, you know.
But
But you're right though. This is why when people kind of crap on Marvel films, I feel like they don't often give those films that we just talked about, Endgame, Infinity War, Spider-Man, No Way Home, these there's an emotional resonance that is as deep as many serious films.
We just went through because I've been Ashley and I have been together for like 8 or 9 months now, and we've not really talked about our favorite films of all time. And so we talked about this. I like to go through every once in a while, just like what is currently my top 10, because my moods have changed over the years. You've got your 5 or 6 that are probably going to always be there. You know, your Back to the Future, your Star Wars for you guys,
Anaconda,
your Ghostbusters for you, Brad, your Emmanuel in Space for you, Nate.
Orgasmo.
So you're going to have those, right? And so I started going through mine, and so I'm going to circle back to this point, Nate. Just because when I watched the first time I saw 12 Angry Men was in 2016, and I remember feeling so emotionally raw when I watched that film, and it was the 1950s version. It's almost a perfect film. I felt something. You can still feel that way by watching Infinity War, by watching Endgame. It can still make you feel that. You're not denigrating movie watching or film or cinema by enjoying an MCU movie. I just don't subscribe to that. It doesn't tarnish my palate to then watch Seven Samurai and respect it, or to watch The Godfather, which I just did a rewatch 2 months ago on The Godfather, and thought, I still can't believe how perfect this movie is.
Yeah, and the same actor that won the Academy Award for Oppenheimer, Robert Downey Jr., is the same actor, right? It's
what?
Like he lost his acting ability.
It's
right?
just they know how to craft a story, and I think that a lot of things. Not to get too much on this tangent about the MCU being,
they're not exactly
genuine cinema. But I think that a lot of the Scorseses out there that have the opinion like that are saying things like they're doing shortcuts to get you there, right? This is not real filmmaking. This is popcorn filmmaking that's faking emotions rather than really drawing them out of you. And I disagree with that. I just think that emotions are emotions.
If you have an emotion, how is it fake?
Just the way to get, like,
ask Ashley.
Damn.
Damn. We're gonna have a conversation about that tonight.
Thanks for planting that seed.
Oh, I thought you were talking about fake.
Yeah.
If I'm
asshole.
in a movie theater and I am laughing at what's happening on the screen, or I'm crying because Tony Stark is dying, like, how is that a fake emotion? Just because, like,
yeah, no, I agree. I 100% agree.
I understand the criticisms that some filmmakers make when it comes to like Marvel movies and certain kinds of things, because like there's an aspect of commercialism and like populist filmmaking of it that is like, it can be hard to like get a grasp on anything where it feels like it's more of a product than it is art, I guess you would say. And that doesn't mean that I think that any of the Marvel movies are less than art or anything like that, because some of them are downright fantastic and are incredible movies. But I do understand that perspective of like having a preference for stuff that feels like it is more grounded or more, for lack of a better term, genuinely.
But stop being a dick and then just say that's just my preference.
No, for sure. Like there's an aura of gatekeeping around certain.
That's what bothers me.
Certain cinephiles that I personally also hate, because there are some people who also write for Slash Film who are very uppity about like their film tastes and like really dismissive of like most superhero movies just because they're superhero movies, and it's like you don't need to do like that to appreciate.
They
both
feel like they have the
Scorsese
objective
and
truth
Marvel
on
movies.
filmmaking. That bothers me.
it's because Marvel movies aren't story-driven movies.
I mean, they can
But I
be,
feel like they
and
can be.
and the best ones are, but it's just
So-
that they don't necessarily care as much about the like deeper mechanics of storytelling and like. I will.
Nuance.
There's as somebody who deeply loves Martin Scorsese movies, I still love movies like Avengers Endgame and stuff like that.
Endgame is in my top 5.
And there's very, very different value in each of them. But
I think that one of the things we haven't talked about that I think is a good criticism of the MCU is that if you are Christopher Nolan and you make Oppenheimer, right? It's this creative process that took you years to come up with,
Certainly.
and this and that, and the emotional payoff of that film is tremendous. Oppenheimer doesn't have 21 movies before it to help you pay that off.
Right.
But Endgame really did. And so like you can't look at Endgame like,
point.
wow, what an emotional arc that movie brought. you're riding a fucking pretty long train there.
For sure.
And that's unfair. I will give
Yeah.
that the credence that it's due because I do believe in that. That's a lot of come up.
And plus, Marvel has a lot of source material,
but also,
too, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's also
know,
very
you got-
true. But also, you have to do it right in order to get that. The Russo brothers were tasked with paying off 21
Yep.
movies, so
Yep.
the pressure to do that is incredible. I see both sides of that.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I
It's the
just
smartest
feel
thing
like
I've ever
we-
said in this fucking podcast. by the way.
But great point, Ben.
Yeah.
But I also just think, like you said, you can love both. You can live in both of those
For sure.
worlds and
And
appreciate
I do.
a film for what it is.
I really do. I loved
we
Oppenheimer.
talked about
I thought it was
I love
fantastic.
Endgame and DC movies. Like I can live in both.
Well, I'm not going to go that
This is-
far.
yeah, we're done. I'll turn
Last
his
appearance
mic off.
of
I'll turn
Charlie
it off.
Young
Deadpool
on the
Wolverine.
show.
No,
Loved it.
you're not back.
Oh,
You're
okay.
done.
No, you're done.
I'll wait till
You're
it's my turn.
Ben, what's another movie you saw?
You know what? I watched a little movie from the 90s called Serial Mom.
Oh, it's on Netflix.
It is.
I've been meaning to watch that, actually.
Have you ever seen it?
I haven't.
Saw it when it came out.
It's a
and
John Waters movie.
John
right?
Waters film about Kathleen Turner plays a suburban housewife that people think is a serial killer because she just happens to be in the areas where these people are dying. But within the first 5 minutes of the movie, she's the serial killer. They don't hide it. And so the whole movie is just about her desperate, psychopathic nature becoming, unfolding and getting bonkers and bonkers. I mean, I watched it and thought it was weird when I was a kid. I watch it now. It's phenomenal. The way they just lean in full on with it, it's really worth your time. It's
So it's like the last season of Dexter.
I've never seen Dexter.
Oh, you should.
Hour and a half long, but just a breeze. And John Waters' humor is right there in your face. And Kathleen Turner is amazing at it. She is full on psycho. A young Ricky Lake is in that film.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
Mrs. Winterbourne.
Yeah, it was just really a really well done satire.
Ben, what happened to Ricky Lake?
Well, we got a very famous talk show.
Yeah, in the 90s. My
yeah.
mom used to watch
And
it,
then,
but
and then she did Weight Watchers commercials for a while, and I think that now she's quote unquote retired.
but I don't feel like she's that old, is she?
I mean, she's
Wasn't there some kind of scandal with her show?
She's
that,
55.
that's Ellen.
No, there was something.
No, I think there was a Ricky Lake
something.
scandal. Yeah.
She had a guest on or something that turned out to not be what they. I don't know. There was something with Ricky
yeah, I
Lake.
could have sworn that there was some kind of scandal with her talk show.
So
Producer?
the Ricky Lake runs deep. All right. So I watched that. I also watched Warrior, the Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton MMA movie for probably the 400th
Yeah, I was just
time.
gonna say you watched that movie a lot.
I think you've assigned me that movie,
I
didn't you?
love that film so much.
It's a good film.
It's a great film.
I'm glad I watched that film.
That actually reminds me. I forgot. I did watch Gladiator for the first time about a week ago.
Whoa!
for the
Whoa!
first time?
Talk about burying the lead
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
It was just okay.
No, honestly, it was just okay.
What?
no,
You're back off. You're
No,
back
no,
off.
really done.
Yeah.
Cut his mic. Cut his mic.
It's wonderfully told. It's a great story. I
Okay, then stop.
don't give a shit about Roman Empire. I've never been into.
I don't
Roman
either.
That doesn't matter.
It's
Yeah.
the time for. I just.
Oh,
I'm just
no.
not
No,
in
it's
it.
just everything about it's so good.
Don't you hate
Maximus-
Joaquin Phoenix so much?
No, I did. I don't know why.
He's such
I
a
just-
fucking
Oh,
weasel.
I hate him. I hate him.
Ah.
He was so good in that film. I have a hard time watching him now and not hating him. Like
Right.
I genuinely do. Like
and he hasn't even seen Joker.
I haven't.
And I wonder if that's
Probably partially why I haven't seen Joker.
I wonder if that's why, because I have seen other movies with Joaquin Phoenix in it that when I saw it I was like, oh,
I do love Walk
he's
the
just
Line,
doing a
but-
great performance.
But Russell Crowe. I mean,
That was like
It's one
that
of
was
the
like
perfect roles.
prime Russell
Yeah.
Crowe too,
Yeah.
man. He's in good shape. He's not chubby.
He wasn't even throwing phones yet.
the score.
I don't know why. I just didn't get into it.
Connie Nielsen had a crush on her.
Thanks, Nate.
Father to a murdered son,
Yeah.
husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
So many good lines.
It's a great line.
So many good lines.
I don't disparage that. It wasn't my cup of tea.
What's his name? Maximus Decimus
Meridius.
Meridius.
Mm-hmm.
Maximus
It's
Decimus
a great movie.
Meridius.
It's well told. It's well shot. It is gorgeous. The cinematography is great. It's just not my.
Well, that's really disappointing.
I also watched The Bikeriders.
Hey, there we go. Did I talk about the Bikeriders
You
on this
did.
show? Okay.
Yeah,
Because when you said it, I was like, wait a minute, did I talk about that on the podcast?
your take on The Bikeriders, if I am remembering correctly, was I wish they would have gotten more into the story of the club and rather than the retelling of it.
No, the characters.
So so you wanted them to get more into the characters.
I want to know more about the characters. I liked it as it was, as a
as a retelling.
Yeah, like a shaggy presentation from one person's perspective about what happened with the club, but I still wished it would have gotten a little bit deeper into the characters as to like why they were the way they were.
I wanted to see a movie.
There's not a pre-story really done well.
Or well, it's not even a pre-story. It's just that they don't like because they flat out tell you how Tom Hardy formed the club in the movie, but it's just you don't really get an understanding as to like why his personality is the way he is. Like what drives him, still to still like be in the club and that kind of thing.
There's not a scene in the film which one character, be it Austin Butler's character or Tom Hardy's character, which would be the two that would do this,
right,
would have that scene that you would normally hope to see, which is a breakdown of the character saying, this is a window into my soul and why I'm built the way I'm built.
Exactly.
And that would inform you so much on the rest of the film.
Yeah.
And it would have been probably that moment where, that's why he's nominated for an Oscar, right? The Tom Hanks and Captain Phillips moment where there's a monologue that really pulls it all together. That was honestly probably the one thing I could point to that I missed. Like that didn't happen that I was really looking for.
No, I agree with that wholeheartedly because I still really like the movie a lot.
I'd say I feel like I've not seen this movie, but I feel like the cast is really good,
It's
so it must be acted really well.
It's acted so well.
Jodie Comer in particular.
This is that motorcycle club movie, right?
Yes. What's her name?
Jodie Comer.
She is fantastic. Retelling the whole everything, and her accent is perfect. And
is it told from her point of view?
Yeah, it's
recounted to a reporter who used to be a reporter that was in school and was following the club. So he had firsthand knowledge of it, but then he comes back to interview her years later. Hey, what happened to these guys?
It's Mike Faced from Challengers.
Oh, nice.
From Pinball.
Pinball, the man
who saved the game. Let's get that right.
And it's about how the motorcycle group changed.
Basically, back in the day, it started as this, and why did it go off the rails, and what happened to all the guys that used to be in it, and why did it get so crazy?
You guys should watch Sons of Anarchy if you like this movie. Then.
I was just say, but I don't think it. From my hearing, it doesn't do a good job diving into.
You're
the characters
never gonna
enough.
Understand why they did what they did. Just these are the things that they did.
Yeah.
And part of the failure of that is not necessarily the filmmaking, because they did do this off of a book that was based on the interview, so they're just kind of keeping to like what they had.
Yeah, they told the story how of like how it works. It's exactly what they wanted it to be. Yeah. I found myself just wanting a little bit more,
and so that would have come with a movie that had maybe more narrative freedom to make things up.
Yeah.
But they tried not to. Maybe.
Would this have been a better miniseries? Do you think?
No, I mean,
do you
I liked
need more time and energy in it, or no?
No, they chose to make it the movie from the book, from the interviews, and they chose to stick to as much of the facts that they had. Okay. And so but it makes it a very...
Oh, so this is a true story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's about the Outlaws motorcycle.
Okay, cool.
And so it goes from, it's very plot based, right? This happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened,
I think you're right, honestly. All it would have taken is one scene.
Okay.
I think.
That's
it would have been a hard scene probably to write, to figure out, if you don't, especially if you don't have that.
You don't have that source material, and you don't know why Tom Hardy's character was the way that he was, right?
Okay.
But no,
that makes sense.
It was well worth a watch, though. Honestly,
well, I mean, that's one of those liberties you can take, though,
if you're making like something that
based on a true story,
right? And I think that this is one that they kind of just went pretty close to the vest.
Gotcha.
With it,
Those are some of the more frustrating films, though, when it's just one more scene that makes the film good to great, right? Like give me that one more scene.
And the crazy part is, I never ever think that I know how to make a movie better.
No.
But in this case, I'm like, you have Austin Butler or Tom Hardy who could have delivered a wonderful monologue, or even her, to get more into like.
No. And then that's the thing that emotionally captures you to that character more, right?
But still very, very good. Michael Shannon's in it.
I haven't seen Michael Shannon.
The guy from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Remus.
Daryl Dixon, whatever his name
Norman
is.
Reedus.
Norman Reedus. He's in it. Almost unrecognizable, honestly. His teeth are just something to behold. Oh boy.
He's got a big bushy beard.
A big bushy beard. But yeah, no, it was good. And then I'm halfway through Hitman, the one that I said I wasn't gonna watch because my mom didn't like it. I like it so far though.
It's fun. Yeah. It's fun though. Yeah,
I like it.
No kids movies?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I watched Robots.
Okay.
God, that movie
Robots?
sucked.
What is this?
What? You never saw the 2005 movie
Ewan
Robots?
McGregor, Robin Williams.
Or 2008?
I don't think I ever did. No, I don't think I ever did. Because my kids are too young. So my oldest was born in 2008.
Hey, didn't you have an assignment?
We didn't do assignments.
We didn't do assignments.
Yeah, we did, because I watched mine.
I'm not. I'm sure that we did. I don't think we did.
We did.
I watched Robots, and then I watched. Hold on, and then I watched something called The Cat Detective.
Okay.
You both blew off your fucking assignments?
I don't know.
Now I'm thinking about it. I think we did do assignments before we left last week.
Yeah, we did.
What was mine? I might have watched it.
What If?
No, his.
I did watch What If.
Oh, okay, then you did your assignment thing.
Oh no, I watched If. I'm not joking. I'm not joking.
No, you had a whole conversation about this because we watched the trailer,
But
and
to be fair, he was supposed to give me a film, I think.
I don't think I gave you a film.
pretty
did I?
sure he
never
did.
He never did.
I'm pretty sure he did.
We'll have to
he
go
never
back to the
did.
text, boys and girls.
No,
This is
no,
great.
we didn't text about it because we talked about it in person.
Yeah, we talked about
But
it when
you
we
told
watched
me
the
you were
going
going
to
to text me a film, and he never did.
But you also didn't follow up. That's your responsibility too.
Why do I have to follow up?
Well, because he's a fucking dipshit.
This is so much fun for the guest.
What If? Is it a Marvel series? I don't get it.
I think I assigned you a film, right?
Yeah, and I watched it.
What was the film that you were assigned?
Garbage.
The band documentary?
I'm only happy when it rains. I'm only happy when
Are you done with all your shit?
I mean, I'm 90% sure there's another kids movie in there that I'm rattling around, but I'm whatever.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't gotta hear about all those.
It's fine. It's fine.
Unless
This
it's
is
gonna
good.
bring,
This is good.
unless it's gonna bring like some Woody
Woody
Woodpecker
Woodpecker.
hilarity. Like that's the kind of stuff
Exactly.
we want. But otherwise, just leave Cat
Yeah.
Detective out.
No,
you
cat,
know?
it was the Cat Detective or something like that.
Hey, Charlie,
yeah.
can you do a Woody the Woodpecker impression?
No, don't. Why are you trying to force this?
No, can you do it?
Don't try to.
Can
Don't
you do
force
it?
comedy.
I bet you
No.
can't.
On my mother, he's not forcing comedy. He only wants it somehow to be worse than his,
That's exactly what I want.
so that he's not on the hook anymore.
That's exactly what I'm wanting. But whatever.
You should get to know your friend Nate.
I would love to. Sounds like he's high.
That sounds like something that came out of a Jack in the Box.
Murderous clown.
Exactly. Still way better than Nate's.
What did you get assigned? What movie?
I was assigned Werewolves Within.
Yes.
Yes, this is a horror comedy based on a game of the same name, starring Sam Richardson in the
love
lead
Sammy
role.
Richardson.
I do love me some Sam Richardson, and it's fun. It's a very fun movie. It's funny. It's dark comedy. You know, it's got a fun mystery about it. There's some cool twists and turns. I do wish that I know this is because they probably didn't have the money, but I wish the cast was a little more
The budget on this
well-
was like $5
well
million. It was
established.
a very small.
because there's some
budget.
funny people in here who are character actors that I've seen in smaller parts in other movies before.
Former SNL star Michaela Watkins.
Yeah, Michaela Watkins in it, and she's funny. She does a good job.
Star?
She was a star on Saturday Night Live.
Okay.
She starred on the show.
Yeah, she started on the
She was
show.
on the show.
She starred on the show.
Former
feel like
star
a cast
Abby
member.
Elliott.
Abby Elliott starred
Former
on Saturday
star
Night Live.
Sasha Zameda.
Sasha Zameda starred on SNL for a period
Former
of time.
star
I think you could say that, right?
Luke Rittenhouse. What's his name? Luke Null. Luke Null.
Luke Knoll starred on SNL for a
All
time.
right. John Rudnitsky.
John Rudnitsky starred on
Okay,
SNL for
we're
a
done.
time. But
Kristen Wiig. Actually,
No,
that
that's
one.
too far. That's too far. That's too far. She did not.
But no, I very much enjoyed this movie. I do. I would have liked to have seen a straight horror version of this movie
Sure.
too, though, because the concept easily lends itself to that. But having it be a comedy with this cast does lend a certain level of fun to it.
And
As
Sam
well.
Richardson's a lot of fun. in
Yeah,
this.
he's great.
He really is, and I mean, Sam Richardson is just awesome in
So
general.
I'll watch What If, and then I'll have to remember what I gave you, Nate.
You didn't give me a film.
No, I did give you one. I just don't remember what it was.
Pretty sure you did.
Pretty sure I did.
Yeah, because we all got on the list and like he was looking at stuff and
What's funny about this is I know. So, listeners, we did not put an episode out last week because we were working on some pre-work for a 10-to-1 episode that we just recorded today, where we're going through the SNL digital shorts, and we were watching 30-some digital
35
shorts.
digital shorts.
And so we did not have time to record as well. Plus, Ben was in a bad mood last week. And so it's just been a lot of just work. And we decided that we were going to give our films to each other before we left that night, so that, we wouldn't forget. Because oftentimes we forget. Oh, let's say
But a lot of times I'll just scroll back in the fucking text and then I'll see it.
Yeah. Oftentimes, let's be honest, I forget. Brad never does. He always assigns his film. And we did assign it, but it was not in the text thread like we usually have, so I was not able.
And
to
there
find
was
it.
no way for us to follow up or get that information.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I did think today. I don't think we assigned films.
I thought the same thing. I was like, oh yeah, we didn't do an assignment because we were doing.
And I didn't
SNL.
want to ask because if we did assign films, I didn't have time to watch it.
I'd rather just deal with the wrath of Brad later, which is what I thought as well.
Yeah, laugh
Because
it
I'm
up.
like, Brad's gonna be so pissy
He's gonna be
about
so
this.
pissed.
He's gonna be so pissy.
Yeah, laugh it up,
It's
motherfuckers.
content.
Yeah, I was like, I'm pretty sure we didn't know. And then I just convinced myself, no, we definitely didn't. No.
That doesn't sound like something we do.
Then Brad said, I watched my assignment. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Sure.
Sure. But did you?
This podcast sucks.
What
What
else you watch, buddy?
I went to the theaters and I saw Trap. M. Night Shyamalan's Trap.
Shyamalan.
You got the Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Whoa,
And
Black Betty.
it's pretty good.
I felt like your tweet suggested it wasn't.
No. It's
Brad, why do you hate this film?
I had a very good time watching it. But it's the first half of the movie is pretty tight. It's very suspenseful. It's does a great job with the premise that was wonderfully established in the trailer. But the second half kind of loses any semblance of logic or common sense, both in the narrative and among the characters, and it was a little distracting. But Josh Hartnett is so fantastic in the lead role that like you still enjoy it and you're kind of just along for the ride. Like at
That
some
makes me happy.
At some point, you're just like, oh, okay, we're just because Shyamalan has a tendency to like do things that are heightened thrillers in a way where it's like it's a little bit unbelievable, it's a little bit silly,
It's a little bombastic.
yeah, and you kind of just go along with
Sure.
it. And this is definitely one of those movies. And you just have to, if your threshold allows for that, then like you'll be fine. I know plenty of people who are like thoroughly entertained by it because they know what they're getting from it. I just like it was hard to like accept some of.
We all know that you are of the three of us and probably the four of us today. You are probably the most when it comes down to like that doesn't make sense in the universe that you've built.
Yeah,
and
it
I'm-
bothers
yeah,
you
and
most.
it bothers
Yeah.
you.
And Deadpool and Wolverine is another perfect example where like, but it didn't bother me as much because everything else was so fine. And so like this one, it's a little more distracting and it's frustrating because it's such a good premise that it just feels like Shyamalan wrote himself into a corner and couldn't figure out how to get out
Which
of it
is
in a
often,
satisfying way.
yeah, it could be his problem.
Yeah.
Right.
But like I said, Hartnett makes it worth watching. Like he's great in this movie. He's really, really good. And I hope to see.
It's too bad
more
because the
stuff
trailers for these were it was very good.
The trailer,
Yeah, the trailer's
that's
great.
one of the best trailers I've seen in a long time.
I love that trailer.
And then I also watched a couple other things. I rewatched Miami Vice because I don't know if you guys
the whole series.
I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but
You're a
film,
Tubbs man.
film Twitter like jizzes itself over Miami
Yeah,
Vice.
It's because they love Michael Mann in the first place, but also
But why?
they just love this like slowed down,
Yeah.
elongated performance bullshit, and it's unwarranted.
And here's the thing: I appreciate what Michael Mann does for the action
Film
movie
Twitter's the worst.
by doing a more nuanced approach to like that vibe of movie.
This is a boring movie.
Yeah, like I remember thinking that I was like maybe it was a different time because it was 2006 and like I was still learning about movies, still experiencing new stuff. Maybe I just didn't get it. I rewatched it and it's just fine.
There's a couple scenes, one in particular where he does a very good job, just like in Heat. The gunfire
Yeah.
is fucking awesome.
Absolutely.
He gets that better than any filmmaker that's ever lived.
Yeah.
Like how to really feel like you're in a shootout. Call Michael Mann.
Yeah.
Because that scene in Miami Vice is fucking perfect.
It's great. It's
but
great.
that's one scene in a 2 hour and 20-minute movie
Yeah.
that doesn't need to be even an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it's just it's too long, it's too slow. Colin Farrell's very good in it, but yeah, I don't understand the hype behind.
Colin
people
Farrell
of this
agrees
movie.
with you. He says, I didn't like it so much when talking about the film. I thought it was style over substance, and I accept a good bit of the responsibility. It was never going to be Lethal Weapon, but I think we missed an opportunity to have a friendship that also had some elements of fun.
Yeah, because you never really get a vibe for Crockett and Tubbs being
Oh God, no!
a good team.
There's no chemistry
Yeah,
there.
not
It's
at all.
Just that they're
and
in
a big part of it
movie
is
together.
because most of the time they're spent separated from each other
Exactly.
because he has the
That's the
relationship.
plot,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know. So yeah, I was hoping that I would be like, oh, you know what, Miami Vice is great, but no, it's
Michael
just
Mann
not.
wanted to tell a story and just found that vehicle that they would let him make the story with, and so he just didn't really care about the source material. Not that Miami Vice is like something to behold, but like if you throw away the relationship that made that TV show great,
Yeah.
it was the relationship between Crockett and Tubbs,
Yeah.
right? And you don't have that in this
Yeah,
film.
for sure. I also watched a movie called Freaked. from 1993
Okay.
that is co-directed by Alex Winter of Bill and Ted's Excellent
Okay.
Adventure fame. And this is like a wild,
Stallions?
zany, practical makeup effects driven
Is there a
fantasy
puppet?
comedy.
Is there a puppet
Yeah,
in this?
there's several puppets. There is
Nate, buckle your fucking seatbelt.
no, seriously.
There are
is
puppets and Randy Quaid.
Whoa.
There are wild, impressive practical effects creatures and characters in this movie
And
that follows
frickin' Mr. T.
Yeah, Mr. T is in it as the bearded lady at like this like circus sideshow that Randy Quaid runs. So in this movie, Alex Winter plays a former child star who is kind of washed up, but he's using his fame to like sell products basically. And there's this cosmetic company that is using some chemical that apparently has terrible side effects.
It turns you into a puppet?
No, it just creates like deformities and weird things like
Okay.
that. And so he's trying to push it, and then he ends up getting like caught up in this like crazy misadventure that takes him to this circus sideshow with Randy Quaid. He discovers that Randy Quaid has been making his own circus sideshow freaks, as the title is implied, by using the chemical that he's been hawking. And so Randy Quaid uses it on Alex Winter, who plays this like totally douche bro actor, like, and he plays it very well. It's very like over the top, and it's intended to be. And so Randy Quaid puts the stuff on Alex Winter and his other two friends, and turns them into freaks basically. One of them are a guy and a girl who aren't getting along and fighting, and turns them into one person, like half and half.
Gosh, I'm not. This is not a bit. I think that I've seen this movie.
You might have, because it's not
from 1993.
1993. Yeah.
So yeah,
and it's a Fox movie. Like, it was a legit movie.
I would have been 12 years old at the
Yeah.
time, so this would have been right up my alley.
Yeah.
And it sounds a little bit like Little Monsters or
Yeah.
Drop Dead Fred.
No, and
Okay.
it had a $12 million budget.
I probably saw this.
1993
Yeah,
was a
no,
serious film.
It's exactly the vibe that you guys are talking about too, and it's zany and weird.
What's it
and
called
just freaks. Or sorry, freaked.
And it had Bobcat Goldthwait.
It does have Bobcat Goldthwait. in
Okay,
it.
hey, good for you.
That was
That was
really good impression,
That was
buddy.
very
I'm
good.
proud of you.
It's
Little
just 'cause
little
it's
Nate
essentially
Redemption.
my natural
Yeah,
voice.
so never
but-
do it again. Okay, so we got it, and we don't need it any more of it.
Brad!
Oh, see, now you just sound like a Muppet.
I don't know. I support it.
Because he went from Bobcat to a Muppet of Bobcat Goldthwait.
Bobcat Goldthwait is a Muppet.
I know. Yeah,
How dare you? I saw him at the Civic
Bobcat
Auditorium
Goldnate.
in LaPorte. Ooh, nice.
By the way, also
Bobcat Goldthwait.
recently saw him at Civic.
I saw him at the Civic Auditorium last year.
But yeah, this movie is wild. It's not. You can't technically stream it anywhere officially. It is available in HD on YouTube for free, and that's
Yeah.
where we watched it.
That's where I watch Power Rangers.
Oh wait, so like the filmmakers put it on YouTube?
No, I don't know. I don't think the filmmakers did.
It's just
but
that
it's just
So you
not
illegally
readily
stream-
available.
you
So
illegally
somebody
streamed the film?
put it up.
and YouTube doesn't
No,
care about it
I
enough
was
to
saying,
go look for
the
it.
studio that owns it doesn't care enough
Right.
to take it down. Is
Yeah.
all it is. So let me
That
ask
would take effort.
let me ask a real question here, Brad. How did you just decide, you know what, I'm going to search Freaked and watch it on YouTube?
So the way this happened is I was hanging out with friends of the pod, Dan and Ronnie Scooble,
Oh, there it is.
and so they have this streaming service called like Eternal Family or something like that.
And for those of you that maybe don't remember, Dan and Roddy introduced us to
the Greasy Strangler.
The Greasy Strangler.
Yeah.
One of the most disgusting films I've ever seen.
With the thick ropes.
And loved.
and the disco cuties. But so they have this. There's a streaming service out there called Eternal Family, where basically what it is the streaming service collects media that is considered like rare or lost, that like doesn't have rights that are easily attainable, or it's just not something that is like distributed widely or something like that. And they either get permission from the people who still own the rights to it, or they offer it for free if it's not something that they have the rights to. And so it's full of all these just weird pieces of media, like films from other countries and like short films that are really dated because of like the technology with which that they were made, instructional videos, just all sorts of weird things. We've watched so many weird assorted things after getting high. And so initially Ronnie thought that this one was on the streaming service because they posted about it on Twitter, but all they did was post a clip. And so we were going to watch it through there, but then we realized it wasn't available there, and then we found out that it was available on YouTube in HD.
Oh
So
my
I usually, if I'm looking for an obscure movie, I'll always check YouTube.
Yeah,
I prefer to
YouTube.
watch them on 3-minute increments on TikTok.
But yeah, it was just a weird, fun
I'm
movie.
sure
we
it was.
had a lot of fun watching it. I was so taken aback by how good the effects were.
I thought you were saying I was so high.
Yes.
But yeah, Freaked was a lot of fun.
Is that everything?
The last thing I watched just before this actually was Mother. I got back to my Albert
Jennifer
Brooks kick.
Lawrence?
No, not that one.
Oh.
Albert Brooks' Mother
Oh, gotcha.
with Debbie Reynolds and Albert Brooks. And man, this movie is so funny. Albert Brooks is just like, his delivery is just on another level. Like, he's just got a great way of being dry and sarcastic. And now I think I only have one more movie to watch before I've seen all the stuff that he wrote and directed. So
All right,
it's
worth a watch.
yeah, it's absolutely right. It's on Canopy, I think, or Canopy or Hoopla, one of the two.
I'm making things up now.
That's where I watched
It's
it.
on Freeple. Make sure
Freeple doesn't have a lot.
Gupta.
It's on Film Flam.
It's on Blanket Watch.
I'd watch Film Flam.
Film Flam.
Yeah.
All right. Nate, did you watch any movies, buddy? Did you watch your assignment?
Yeah, I did watch my assignment. I was assigned a documentary called Simone Biles Rising, and I watched that. Thank
I
you.
definitely gave you that.
You weren't assigned that.
No, you were not assigned that.
But I did watch it. It's a documentary on Netflix. I've been watching a lot of the Olympics. Are you guys into the Olympics at all? Or
No.
not?
I just watched clips.
I turned it on when we're going to bed. We'll turn it on for about an hour and just kind of browse the
See
channels
kind of
that
the
are
highlights
the,
of
the channels that are on Peacock. We'll scroll through those 4 channels and
I'm going to do a Brad. I also watched one more movie, Godzilla versus Kong, X-Kong.
Oh yeah. What'd you
That's a
think?
good conversation because you
new-
were at first you were like no, and then you were like yes.
I hated this movie.
yeah.
Sorry, Nate. I just
No,
want to
please. I don't have a lot of movies. So
I
go ahead.
hated this movie for the first 20 minutes. I was like, this is so dumb. This just feels so out of touch and out of place, and it's just like it's too campy. It's just too campy. But
It's kind of like that is exactly what you said when you met Brad.
100%, 100%.
But then,
I said it smells like he's been camping.
yeah,
Yeah. This is more of a hold on to your hats. This is a bonkers monster movie. And
That's what I told you.
yeah, you did.
You
And-
did.
And my goodness, you were right. It turns, and I'm like, oh man, what a cool. Like they bring out all the stops, all the monsters, everything. The Kong fucking fights like evil gorillas, and it's incredible. It's incredible. It's
Yeah.
such a fun fucking.
It's
movie.
ridiculous. It's a silly, big, dumb, fun monster movie.
It's exactly.
and they
like-
know what they are.
Yeah,
oh, absolutely,
100%.
It reminded me of not even. It's definitely bigger and dumber and sillier than like Pacific Rim, but it reminded me of that kind of like we're all in here.
Yeah.
we're just the kaiju are here and they're fucking shit up and every town is being decimated.
Yeah.
you know they give fuck all. Like in the real world, there would be no population left because of how much stomping on all these cities they're doing. Yeah. It was so freaking good though.
Pacific Rim is
yeah.
probably my favorite monster movie.
Pacific Rim is an incredible
Yeah.
monster movie. I
Yeah.
love that film.
But yeah, Godzilla X Kong. If you haven't watched it, you want to go into it. Don't go into it expecting
Oh,
a serious
yeah.
Godzilla movie because it is not that. But
And
it is a lot of fun if
it's-
you allow yourself to have fun with
It's
it.
a little unfortunate that they just tried to push a bit of the seriousness of the narrative because now you don't really know what to expect, and I think that maybe is why I was like, this movie sucks because it's
But
not.
at the same
it's
time,
not taking itself very serious.
I think that is characteristic of the Godzilla franchise, though, because if you go back and you watch the old movies, like there are drastic changes in
of
tone
course,
and
but
all that.
but like the Bryan Cranston one was they tried to be very serious about that.
Sure, but it has evolved so much since then,
Right.
you know, because Kong Skull Island gets a little bit more
That's my favorite.
loose with the style.
That's
you know?
still my favorite.
Not as serious. Like there's some serious, but like
There's some slapsticky
It's
stuff.
pulpy too.
Yeah.
And then Godzilla versus Kong.
Did you watch Skull Island, Charlie? Charlie?
I'm not a Godzilla fan.
So you should watch Kong Skull Island.
Okay.
Honestly, because John C. Reilly is in it, and the you know what? I'm not even going to spoil anything.
That one I've been told I do
it's
need to
Kong
watch.
Skull Island is very good.
It's a different vibe on the whole thing.
Yeah.
That one,
Have you
that
seen
one
it,
I
Nate?
do know.
Yeah. You like it?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
Sorry, that's my last movie. So you watched a documentary about Simone Biles?
yeah, but that's not that important.
To answer your question too, I don't really care much about the Olympics, but like I appreciate seeing when people do well and when there's like amazing clips. And
yeah, no,
highlights shown.
and
Like
there's
the
something
guy
about
that
the
hit
Olympics.
his dong.
Oh
on
my
the
god,
pole vault.
I love
Yeah.
seeing that diving
Again,
board ding dong get smacked around.
Which is why many of us have chosen not to be in the Olympics, but this
Yeah.
guy braved it, and he,
Have you seen
all
the
of our
clip,
worst
Charlie?
fears
I have.
happened.
I have.
Holy shit!
The thing I'm loving right now is on TikTok. They have this whole thing about why I didn't make the Olympics, and it's all these people like failing at their sport. It's so
Oh,
funny. But
that's
anyways,
great.
but no, I am. Taylor and I actually got sucked into watching, not sucked into it, but we turned it on. It was like, oh, this is an Olympic sport, and then we watched it for an hour, and it was badminton. Olympic
they can get
badminton is
violent.
nuts.
Yes.
I think anything
They swing
done,
so fucking hard.
Yeah.
anything done at a high level,
Anything with the
can
word
be-
shuttlecock in it.
can
I'm
be
in.
fun to watch. I was watching like this.
Their starting poses.
oh yeah,
Looks like they're doing martial arts.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Table tennis is that way too.
yes, I know.
yeah.
I watched some
Nuts.
table tennis.
I saw
tonight.
a fucking bonker serve where I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
And it's
They
like,
swing
he like turns
so
his
hard.
body and like spins the paddle and like
There was
and
one-
he's
yep.
staring at it like right close to his face and then he's like, ka-cha!
It's like, are you doing scientific research with a microscope or serving a ping pong ball? Because
Yeah.
that's what they're doing.
Yeah.
No, and I'm kind of obsessed with this idea that these people are training for 4 years to get to this point.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who they are.
Yep.
Nobody knows these table tennis
Yeah.
players, right?
Nate,
And-
I feel like you could have been the shooter from Turkey.
oh, that guy. was
Oh,
awesome.
yeah.
No, that guy is definitely an assassin.
Yeah, no, he just showed up and they were like, you want to do this? He's like, I mean, I guess.
Well, that's what happens when you're mad at your wife, though.
And he goes, and they're like, hey, no matter what, you can't get gold. You'll be too famous. So he's like, all right.
Yeah,
He missed on purpose, got a silver.
we did watch the Britain guy break the record and get the gold. That's
What was it?
I can't think of his name now. The guy from Great Britain that got the gold in the shotgun, the skeet shooting.
Oh, I didn't watch that. No.
So 48 out of 50.
Then this, did you see the guy that looks like the fucking Hulk from America that went from 4th place to medaling with one throw of the shot put?
Oh, yeah.
He did it in the rain, which of course, even when you're throwing something very heavy, if it's raining, it's going to be harder to throw.
Right.
But his throw was so fucking far that he got a medal for it. Like, how does that guy fly on a plane?
No, and that's what I'm saying is there's this documentary, Simone Biles, obviously one of the most decorated American Olympians ever, but it takes you through a couple different levels of her life, the amount of training she has to do, especially as an older Olympian. She older as like 26 or 27, but for a gymnast, that's like
Fucking
ancient.
ancient.
Yep.
Yeah.
But also like the racism, right? That she's had to go through and the
Her
struggle.
black job.
Yeah, exactly. And she's learning. You could see it now, knowing some of this. So it's been interesting watching the documentary, and then watching
Yep.
her actions now. You see some of the deliberate things she's saying and doing as a reaction to the life that she's had to live.
I mean, there was just Serena fucking Williams tweeted that she was not let into a restaurant in Paris.
Yep.
Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. And so so you might not like the Olympics, you might not love gymnastics. It's an interesting look. It's a docuseries on her life. I was really
Cool. So it's
grateful
not a
to watch
movie. Great.
it. The other one I
Are you
watched,
fucking
I've
kidding
seen
me?
this film before, but I want to know why this didn't do well because I loved this film, rewatched it, loved it again. Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves.
Oh, so the movie didn't do poorly. It actually did pretty decently, and it's probably going to get a sequel.
I was hoping it would because
It was okay.
no, it was good.
Yeah, it's really good, man.
I
It's okay.
actually love this film, and I watched it again. I'm like, Chris Pine is fantastic
Yeah.
in this. Michelle Rodriguez is fun. There's an emotional core to
I
this
gotta watch
film.
it again.
It's a world that they created that I was happy to live
Didn't
in.
you see it and you were kind of grumpy?
You know what? That does influence a lot of. And you know what? For the listeners of the podcast must think that I'm a pretty grumpy guy. I'm not.
I'm
though.
going to say you should probably go back to last November, and any movie you saw that year prior, you should go back and rewatch.
I feel like sometimes you
It
bring
was September, but yeah, you're probably right.
you do bring a bad mood.
Fuck you. That's funny.
You bring a bad mood to certain movies. If you've had a rough day, you bring that with you, and sometimes you don't enjoy things that you should enjoy.
That's why I try my best to wait until I'm actually in a okay mood.
No, because Nate's right. Nate, go on.
So I was looking this up, and 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and there were film critics that saw the film before it was released that watched the audience. And it seems like everyone, mostly except Ben, everyone that sees this film enjoys this film, and I don't know why people wouldn't see the film. It was fun. It was a fun.
But Brad said it
action-
was not a bomb.
Well,
It wasn't a bomb, but it didn't do gangbusters either.
It made back its money.
Yeah.
Essentially,
They were expecting it to
It
be
was
a bigger
$150
hit.
million
And it deserved
budget.
to be.
It made 200.
But no, it's hilarious. It is a great fantasy action comedy.
Do you know
and
the nerdy guy's name?
the nerdy guy?
The tall, is he African American?
Oh, Justice Smith.
Yeah, Justice Smith.
He's in
great.
Pokemon.
I do
Yeah.
remember he's great.
Yes.
Hugh Grant's fantastic in this. That's what I'm saying. It's just
Hugh
a
Grant's
fun-
fantastic in a lot of things.
Yeah, I think he's got a future. And so
I watched The Gentleman.
yes, you did.
Gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I watched another movie. I watched The Gentleman, and it's the second time I watched it. And Colin Farrell is the best part of that movie, but Hugh Grant is not far behind. And done. Sorry, Nate. Keep going.
So anyway, if you've not seen this film, I've not watched a lot of films because of the Olympics and stuff like this, but I did rewatch this film with my son. It's fantastic. Watch it, enjoy it. Hopefully, Brad's right, and they get a sequel because they should.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Dungeons, Two Dragons.
If you need to be convinced, it's written by John Francis Daley and Jonathan Goldstein, who wrote and directed Game Night.
So we're running out of time to talk about trailers, but is there anything coming out in August I need to know about?
No.
Is there really? Are we done? Are we done with movies?
No, I'm kidding.
Summer blockbusters.
You're not excited for this. I'm very excited for Alien Romulus. That comes out.
Freaking terrifying.
It comes out in August.
Terrifying.
I can't wait.
Not
I've heard
doing it.
nothing but
Not
good
doing
things.
it.
I'm very excited.
I would
to
be
see
so pissed at you guys if you assigned
The
this film
Red
to
Band
me.
trailer for that gave me chills.
Yeah, it's
It's
awesome.
terrifying.
hard to watch.
It's a
Are
great
you an
trailer.
Alien
Yeah.
fan?
I like Alien and Aliens. I'm not. There's only 2 I've seen.
Because that's
You're
all.
gonna stop
Hey,
there.
guess what? Yeah,
Yeah.
you're fine.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, I'm good.
So you're not going to see Alien.
And actually, you could still see Alien Romulus because Alien Romulus takes place between Alien
yeah,
and
it's
Aliens.
a standalone kind of film,
Yeah.
right? It's
Ooh,
not
buddy,
including a lot of the.
I am actually excited for this.
Yeah,
It's
I
a,
don't-
it's
It
a
looked
big
terrifying
budget.
to me.
it looks terrifying.
terrifying.
It makes me happy for Alien fans.
For you guys.
But
But this doesn't need to be shared with Nate.
no.
It will be though.
Oh, I love it.
Anything else?
Anything else coming up?
That's all that I know off the top of my head. I'm not sure if we're getting into that dead zone where
Yeah.
summer's
Oh, God,
over.
I hate it.
There's a little window between this and award season. And we'll probably get some fun horror movies, maybe like 1 or 2. But also, it's a little worse this year because the strikes kind of fucked everything up as well. And I mean that as far as like the studio fucked up by letting the strikes go on so long. It's not the fault of the strikes.
But but that's why it's hard right now to find good trailers to watch too, right? Because there's not a lot of
Yeah,
stuff
we're
coming out right now.
it's slim pickings, as they would say. It's a pretty unfulfilling end to the summer, and there's probably not going to be a lot of exciting stuff until award season begins. So,
Reagan comes out this month.
good.
What? Is that a political film about Ronald Reagan?
Yeah, with Dennis Quaid playing Ronald Reagan.
When does Beetlejuice come out?
That comes out in September, I think.
Okay.
Oh, see, I'm looking for that,
September
man.
9th, I think.
I know that you're like cautiously optimistic on that. Like,
Yeah, no, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. looks-
September has some better films. It's got Beetlejuice. It has Transformers 1. I'm looking forward to.
Ugh.
You're not looking forward to Transformers 1?
Animation looks like shit.
Oh, it looks fun.
I will say
The Wild Robot, I can't wait
Par-
to see.
I'm very excited for Wild Robot. Paramount Pictures did do a screening for Transformers 1 2 months ahead of release. Studios only do that when they think they got something gold on their hands.
I think this
The early reactions out of the movie is that apparently it's very good.
All right, good.
However,
Ugh.
what is
Here
being,
we go.
What is being
Excuse me.
what is being celebrated are the things that I didn't particularly like about the trailer. Like people said the animation is great. I'm like, well, not according to the trailer. It's not because it looks like it was fucking Nickelodeon in 2004.
No, they're trying to do an animation style, a specific animation style.
Well, the style's trash. And also, I didn't think
You said the same thing about
don't
Mutant-
make the joke again, you fucking asshole.
Oh, sorry.
And
I'm sorry.
I don't think the humor was particularly great.
I
in the
haven't heard this
trailer.
joke. I'd like to hear this
You
joke.
don't have to call it.
You said the same thing about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. You said the same thing about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem.
You don't have to do that.
I'm Ben Konowitz, and if you need a downspout, come on down to the Port Sleeveless Gutter. I'll take care of your gutters. I'll also eat some of your ribs if you got ribs lying
It's morphing
around.
into Harry Carey.
I don't like that you're that mean about it. I was just saying.
Do you listen to Harry Carey with a weird filter?
Well, you went right to the ribs.
I was just gonna. do
I
a
just went
joke.
with ribs because I know how much Ben loves ribs.
I was just doing a joke.
I was okay with the joke, buddy.
Oh, bye everybody. Bye. Oh, we're not done. Oh, cool.
You got a full drink there.
And I'm gonna drink it and be sad.
What else is new?
Welcome to Monday
All
Night
right.
at Casa
Charlie,
de Konowitz.
Thank you so much for
Thanks
coming
for
by.
having
We
me.
love having you on.
Yes.
If you're excited, not excited, whatever, we want to hear from you in the comments. What did we fuck up on? What hard opinions don't you like of mine or Brad's or Nate's or Charlie's? Any other things to talk about? No, we're done.
We'll be back in a couple weeks after we take another week off due to our SNL podcast. And if you like SNL Digital Shorts, if you just like listening to us fucking around, you can listen to the 10 to 1 podcast.
Even if you don't watch normal Saturday Night Live, this might be something that would interest you because
Lonely Island.
we are just watching all of the digital shorts and then ranking them and talking about them a little bit. And there's a couple in there that you probably have just forgotten about that we'll bring up like, hey, do you want 2 minutes to laugh? Like, go check this
Yeah.
one out. There are actually some really good hidden gems that we forgot about. So
I have been
the
listening-
10to1pod.com.
I usually don't listen to 10 to 1, but I have been listening to the movie episodes.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
We've been covering the SNL movies, and now that we're on hiatus from actual season 49 to season 50, but of course we'll be back with season 50 coverage as soon as that hits.
October-ish, probably.
Late
right?
September, I
Late
believe.
All right. Well, from now until then, it's been so much fun having Charlie here and Nate here.
Love you, Chuck.
Love you.
Love you, Chuck.
Brad was here too. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Nah, cheating, eh?